I have just had probably the best buy-in day I have had in my dealing career. I have spent the most on any single individual item I have spent in many a years, and I have had an absolute amazing haul with some pieces with some beautiful historic importance and some very valuable pieces and some very commercial pieces. I've obviously got some of the run-of-the-mill stock as well to put in and show you, but you know what? This is going to be an epic video. I really hope you stick around and see all the things that I've got in today's video, because I promise you they are spectacular. Stick around guys, I really hope you enjoy. Okay, so the first piece I want to show you today is this Biggs Red Rag Tobacco. It's an enamel advertising sign. Now Biggs tobacco merchants, they started in 1881 and they formed a partnership then by around 1900. I'm not sure how long they went going, but I think this sign dates from the early 1900s. Now you can see the condition. It's got some rust through areas, and but it really is beautiful. The color is amazing, and the subject matter is amazing. Here's a view of the back. Now there's a lot of fake signs out there. This one is 100% right, and well, what can I say? That's just so you could see the back. Now I've looked online and there isn't another of this size out there. This one is over a meter wide and between 75 and 80 centimeters high. So this is a big sign. I found a couple of small examples and they were asking between 200 and 300 for quarter size of what I got here. Now I've actually paid a fair bit of money. I spent a lot of money in Splot's car boot sale in Cardiff this week. This sign owes me £200 or $300. But oh, just look at that. You can't tell me that is just not the best looking sign there is. The colours are beautiful. There's enough wear on there to just make it just look amazing. That sign is just a taste of what's to come. I have got some spectacular pieces, but I'm going to mix in some pretty good stock, but run-of-the-mill stock in between the better items, because honestly I don't want to just bombard you with spectacular pieces. This I absolutely loved. We have a full roll of wallpaper. I know, a vintage roll of wallpaper. Is that just not crazy or what? And I paid £20 for this. However, I can't unroll it. This roll of wallpaper is probably 1950s. It's French, and it is full of erotic scenes. People in the act of making love, if you like. And there are different images everywhere. So I can't unroll it, but I paid £20 for a full roll of erotic wallpaper. I know. What can I say? You can't see it, but I tell you what, it's quite shocking. If I put it on the video, it'd have to be an 18 rated. Next piece I've had is a bit of a project, but it is rare as hen's teeth. So what have we got? We've got a picture frame. Now I've got a lot of the backboards and one or two little extra pieces that have come off this. Now I paid a tenner for this. Now you're probably thinking, what the hell have you paid a tenner for that falling apart picture frame for? Well, first of all, let me tell you, it is dated. Okay, so we start again. So why have I paid £10 for a picture frame that is in full need of rebuilding and falling apart? Well, on this side it's got a date of 1887, 1837, and on this side it's got a date of 1897. So 1837 to 1897. So this is going to be for the coronation, not the coronation, 60 years probably of Queen Victoria. However, it is tramp art. If I come in, we have got a tramp art picture frame, or you could turn it into a mirror and make it very, very desirable. Now it needs quite a bit of work putting back together, and if you see the way it comes across here, it no longer does at the top. Now you've got options. You could just cut it smooth, finish it off, and just have a square. You wouldn't really know the difference if you just finished it off as a square. I could put a piece of old glass in there, I could put a piece of mirror in there, I haven't decided yet. I may even just sell it on to the trade as you see it here. But tramp art, picture frame, with a lot of the pieces to go with it. So done for what looks to be the 60 years of Queen Victoria, 1837 to 97, chip carved and dated for a tenner. That is a wonderful find. This next piece we have here is early 20th century. It is Indian, as you can see. Well, I would say Indian with this elephant in the center. Now what's good about this, you see the white metal, that is all inlaid silver. So we have a brass repoussé work bowl. So basically all this pattern's been hammered out or pressed out, and then they've inlaid silver absolutely everywhere. Beautiful colouring, beautiful shape and design. Now I paid £30 for this, which equates to about $45, but seriously nice. Now that is a bit of quality. I like metalware anyway, but when you start finding it, it's all inlaid with silver, then you know you've got something special. So that's really nice. The tramp art at £10 was $14 in US. So I'm going to show you this one, and then we're going to move on to a piece of very important Welsh history. And I mean important, for me anyway, as far as I'm concerned. Now this one was actually found by Sandra. We actually went to Splot in Cardiff, and we sold on the weekend. We sold on Saturday. Didn't do very well, but what I took I weren't worried about. And I bought really well. Well, Sandra found this one. Are you ready to have a look at this? And the big reveal. I know you're probably thinking, what the heck is that? I have absolutely no idea other than it's a skeleton. Looks a bit like I don't know, maybe a big cricket or a frog or something along them lines. This is seriously old, and I tell you what, a lot of trouble has gone to do this. That cost me £3, otherwise known as $4 and $4.50. Is that not strange, unusual and wonderful all at the same time, and macabre? All at the same time. You're going to enjoy this next piece, but it still isn't my star lot. So we have a sterling silver trophy, chalice, cup, whatever you want to call it. Now this example is sterling silver. It is fully hallmarked for London 1890. I'm going to splice photographs in. Yeah, there. So you can see all that. Maker's mark is William Gibson and John Lawrence Langman, which is Goldsmiths and Silversmiths Company. I've got all my notes in front of me. So done all my research on this piece. It is so special. So we know we have a sterling silver trophy. It dates to 1890. It's by a very good maker. Now it's engraved. I cannot read the engraving because it's in Welsh. However, it is for the Eisteddfod Hendy Pontrilas, which is engraved there. Now, the Eisteddfod is a Welsh festival that has been running for over 1,000 years. It was first run in the 1100s, and it is considered the main reason that the Welsh language has still survived till today. Now, the Eisteddfod is the biggest and most important cultural festival in Wales, and this particular example, winner's trophy or cup, was given at Hendy Pontrilas, which is a little village within Swansea City, so not far from where I am. Now, I can't read the writing on this side. However, I've put it through Google Translator. So here we have on the left, I've typed in the message that is written or engraved on this cup. And the competition was presented, or the trophy was presented for the male voice choir. So already we know that the silver is for the Eisteddfod. It was produced in 1890, and it is a winning trophy for the male voice choir. But there's something else that makes it very important. Now, the Eisteddfod connection itself is seriously important and very well collected. But there's something else that makes it seriously important. It was presented to Captain Geoffrey Crochet. Captain Geoffrey Crochet was the first great-grandson of Richard Crochet, who oversaw the first major expansion to the Cyfarthfa Ironworks. Now, for those of you who are not Welsh, in the early 19th century, around the 1800s, the Crochet family came to South Wales and started up an iron mine, or an ironworks. And that brought a lot of jobs and wealth back into the South Wales valleys. In fact, the Crochet family in 1820 then built Cyfarthfa Castle, which is their family home. So here we have some images of Cyfarthfa Castle. You know, this is the Crochet family home from 1820. Absolutely spectacular. This is actually where my wedding was supposed to have taken place last year. But unfortunately, the coronavirus put a stop to that. But this Cyfarthfa Castle is literally about 10 miles up the road from myself here. So you can imagine now how important the Eisteddfod is, how important the Crochet family is to the South Wales area. Now, Cyfarthfa Castle now isn't, well, I don't know who owns it now, but it's actually a museum and a school. So in the one half of the Cyfarthfa Castle rather, you have a school. In the other half, you actually have a museum representing everything from the Crochet family, all the ironworks, the chains and things they used to make, everything all the way through to early pieces of Josiah Wedgwood and Nancarrow and Swansea. Some spectacular pieces up in the museum. So yeah, what can I say? There is one problem I find with this cup, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But so far, it is ticking every single box. Now, the only problem I can find is this. It's actually awarded to Captain Geoffrey Crochet. Now, Geoffrey Crochet was a military man who joined the Royal Welsh and then later transferred to the Welsh Guards. And he was during the Battle of Lewes, 25th of September to the 8th of October 1915. He was severely injured and awarded his appointment of captain. So he didn't become captain until 1915. Now, one or two things have happened. This is either a trophy that was engraved on an older, it's clearly a trophy given for the Eisteddfod, but it was either a trophy they had there that they'd engraved that was produced earlier, or this was given and the captain was added later on. Now, why I say that, if we look here, the National Eisteddfod venues
When it was in, we know it couldn't be before 1890 because, which is here, second row at the top. In 1890, the Eisteddfod was in Bangor. So we know it couldn't be produced before that because the trophy wasn't made before that. Now, in 1891, the Eisteddfod was in Swansea, which is what's engraved here. The next time it was in Swansea was 1907, which again is prior to the captain rank. The next time is 1926. So, is this a 1926 award that was put on an earlier cup, or was the captain rank added later on? So something research-wise needs to be done about that. So this is my first little piece. Now I paid £200 for this. It works out 70 pence a gram. So it's a fraction over spot price, and I mean not a lot. I think some of the smelters are paying like 65p or something like that a gram. So it's not a lot over scrap price. And I have got two major, very important Welsh connections here. I got the Eisteddfod and I got the Crochet family. To say I'm excited would be an absolute understatement of the year. It's going to be a very important piece, whether it ends up back in the museum or whether it ends up in the crochet household or the estate or whatever, or maybe well, it could end up with the Eisteddfod, an Eisteddfod collector, somebody who wants the crochet family, or even back in the museum, one way or the other. It's going to end up somewhere important. And it is in beautiful condition. There's not a dent on it. It's mint. Now, the Eisteddfod stuff, if you look on eBay, sells for decent money. But this one is just that much better because it's got the crochet family connection as well. That's the first. And believe me when I tell you, they get better.
Okay, now I'm going to show you a little job lot of items that I've purchased in. And I can't give you individual prices because they come in as a job lot of a dealer friend of mine, and he gave me a bundle price. So we're going to start off first with this Art Deco bowl produced by Shelley. There's the mark there. Now what you really want in Shelley is the real geometric designs. This is the Blander range, Harmony I think the range is called with this one. But it's got its original mesh, it's in good condition, it's by Shelley. You know, it's a really good name, if nothing else. That's a nice item. Definitely going up on the website. This piece I absolutely adore. And I mean I adore it, I love it. So we've got a tankard, and I mean it's a beautiful tankard. Look at the engraving on this. And then you come to the front, and I don't know if you can read that or see the writing, but it reads, presented to Danielle Priest. I can't read it all, but I can read the date of 1880. I will get some photographs for you so you can see it tidy, but this is a dated tankard for 1880. It is beautifully engraved. I'm going to splice in photographs of this, and it is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That's 140-year-old, that tankard. They don't go to the quality of making that I like now. Even the handle, you know, it's crimped up handle, it's just beautiful. That is a winner. That's a real, if you love early drinking glasses, you know, a tankard that is over 140-year-old in that condition, you know, beautiful. I love that one. Okay, this next piece, still part of the same bundle. I think it might come under Black Forest. So we have a couple of stags, if you like, carved out of wood, and we have a pepper mill. So I'm pretty confident this is going to be Black Forest. all it needs, I'm going to have to clean the top up, but a lot of this gold plating on the chrome is going to go. It is quite dirty. It does work. The downside is I've now got pepper raining down on my floor. However, I think once this is cleaned up and waxed up, that's a rare little thing. And all carved. What does it say underneath? Oh, it's actually made in Italy. Okay, so it's actually stamped made in Italy. So we're going to need to do some more research on that. But what a beautiful pepper mill. Very unusual. So that come in with the job lot. So far we have the Shelley, the Tankard and the pepper mill as one lot. In amongst the same lot is this. So we have a paper mache box. Look at that little scene on the top. Is that not just absolutely beautiful? Now I believe this, once cleaned up, will be unhallmarked silver or white metal. It's clean. It's absolutely beautiful. Just looking now to see whether the silver would have come below, but I can't see any signs that it was. But just a beautiful, beautiful, you know, lacquered box, hand painted. That's just a real nice object. I don't know what the box would have been for, you know. But you know, there's any number of uses for it now. But you got beautiful hand painted lacquer. Do you know what? I think this is early 19th century. Certainly 19th century, but I was thinking more early. But I could be wrong. You feel free to leave your opinions. Beautiful thing. So that was in the same little lot. Okay, there's definitely something missing from the job lot. Because I paid him £70 for a job lot. And I think there's either one or two pieces missing. I just can't think what they are or where they are in a minute. But £70 sterling is about $110, $120. And I also had this in with it. Me and Sandra had a bit of fun. So first of all, she showed me the other side, and I thought, well, what is it? And she comes up, is it maybe a meat tenderizer? You know, you can have them hammers with the spikes on. And then we turn it over, and we're having a good laugh. What is it? It's a, you know, fish tenderizer? Nope, it's a fish scaler. So that would be to take the scales off your fish. So that come in the job lot as well. And it's in aluminium, so it's probably 1950s or something like that. Just an interesting, quirky little thing. But I'm definitely missing some bits of Richard. I want to show you this piece. It's quite special. It's not my star lot still, but it's quite special. So I know you're probably thinking, why do I want to see a bit of luggage? Well, take note of the wood banding it's got and the chrome fittings. Now, look at the condition of this. It's in pretty much new old stock condition. It's got a label on it. You ready? Made in England, batten bound motor luggage. So this would strap on the back of your MG or something like that for when you're traveling. There is the label. So you're talking probably 1950s, 60s, probably 50s. I don't think it has ever been used, period. I don't think it's ever been out anyway. Look at that. It is mint, like the day it was made mint. It's not a scuff on the leather, nothing. Couple of scuffs on the front actually. I didn't see. There's a scuff. Oh, there's a scuff just there. But that might come up when I clean it. But look at the condition of that. Now I paid £30 for this. We had a little Google online because he didn't know what to charge me because he bought this down the market for very little money. And we had a Google, and there was a couple of seriously very poor condition examples sold on eBay, 40 quids, give or take, maybe a bit more. They were smaller than this, and they were shot to pieces. This is in beautiful mint condition. And I give them £30, $45 for a 1950s vehicle motor luggage trunk. I love it. Most of the stuff today is for the website. A couple of pieces that are not, but most of it's going up on the website. This piece is a bit of souvenir wear. So we have I don't have an eyeglass on me. They look hand painted elephants. I can't be 100%, they could be transfer, but they look hand painted at the moment, and they are signed, so it's more likely they are hand painted. So this is probably souvenir wear, but they're really, really nice. If they are hand painted, it's going to be quite a spectacular piece. But I don't have an eyeglass on me, as I've said, to double check quickly. I didn't need to. This is an ostrich egg, African souvenir wear, you know. And what can I say? You get some of these, they do decoupage, they do transfers, they do hand painting, all sorts. They decorate them in all different ways. I'll have to get a little stand for it. But with the elephants on there, and the quality of the elephants, even if it was a transfer, which I don't think it is, you know, it would be good because of the elephants, but really is quite something. They hollow the egg out through the bottom. So they put a little hole there, hollow it out, probably eat the egg, and then decorate the shells for income, a souvenir way. That is beautiful. I bought a vintage cast iron money bank, but this is not an original. So you just literally press down the barrel and it would lift his arm up. It's a very classic design. It looks old, but this is not an original. This is a later copy. Not a new copy, but it's a later copy. And I paid £7 for that, or about $10. That's just for a shelf filler in the shop. Where my car was pitched and I was set my stall out to sell, there was a stall opposite, and he had a couple of little pieces on there, and I bought off him first of all 2 aluminium easels. Now what I plan on doing with these is using them in the shop. They are quite good quality, really well made, thick aluminium, and what I was thinking, they'd be perfect for a rare book or even a small picture. They're just really nice. I paid him £5 for the pair, so $7.50 for the pair, which is for nothing. You know, you can't even buy a wood one for that. And at the same time, I picked this up. Now, I've already got last week's dog wrong. I said possibly a Labrador gun dog, and it was a Springer Spaniel. I even got on the Mats Johansson paperweight, I said possibly an otter or something. It was a seal, so I'm not even going to guess this. It's a dog. So we have a bronze model of a dog. This is bronze. It's got a nice patina on there. And that came in for a £5. Beautiful little bronze dog. I'm going to guess it maybe an Afghan or something like that, but it's a bronze dog. Now this is particularly nice. This is a glass chamber pot. Now, I remember reading about these years ago, but you know, I cannot for the love of money remember who made them. It won't take me 2 minutes to find them. And I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll probably splice something in or put in the description who it is. So if anybody wants to know who it is, it'll be either be in the description or I'll splice someone in. But it's hand blown. You can see the ground out and polished pontil here. It's like a hobnail pattern to it. It's in electric or Bristol blue glass, and it's a chamber pot. It cost me £10 or $14, and these are they're quite scarce actually. And this is going to be a very collectible piece. I just can't think, doing the film now, who actually produced it, but it won't take me long to find it. Right, I'm going to show you my star lot. I've got more to show you, run-of-the-mill pieces, but I'm going to show you my star lots. Now, I have paid for this pair of items £450 in sterling, which is about $720, somewhere over there. $720. I'm going to show you them now. 2 seconds. Okay, so this is the items we have. Now, before we go any further, I have not done research on them, but I'm going to tell you what I've been told by the dealer, and I trust the dealer very much. So he's a very good, very knowledgeable dealer, and he has the provenance from when he purchased them. So we have a pair of memorials. These were off a massive factory in Germany, and they were brought across, I think it was 1912 or something like that. They stand at 31 inches tall by 25 inches wide. So what are they? They're memorials. They are heavy, hand-forged iron. I'll show you the back in just a second. Look at the thickness on them. They're very heavy. Now, when I purchased them, myself and a couple of other dealers, we were all looking at them, and we felt they were quite spectacular. Now, obviously, the blacksmith who's made them has drawn a template and cut them out and hand forged them. You can see they're hand forged, but there are enough differences to know they're not machine made. Like if you look down here at these hammered feathers, if you like, and then come across here, there's a difference on these. This one's got 4 and 1 on that one. This one over here has just got 3 in that one. So that's enough for there really to tell you that they're not just pressed out of a machine. These are handmade rivets, and they've been soldered or welded on the back. If you look down here around the edges, they've been hammered over and finished absolutely beautifully on the wings. These are quite spectacular. Now, there was some debate, were they Czech or were they German, and the dealer who purchased them, he told me plain and simple, they were German. He had the provenance of the family that brought them over. Okay, so this is the back of one. You can see there. Now, clearly, it looks like they would have sat on the fence or the gates there and here. I don't know how they would have been secured so they couldn't have been stolen, unless they, they were stolen, and that's how they're here. Yeah. You only got to look down here. You can see all the hammering where it was hand forged and feel it, all bumpy. They're just spectacular. Now we believe they're German, and from at least 1912, possibly earlier. For decorative arts, you find me another pair. I've looked. So as I've said, these are a good size, so I want you to see them up against me. Now, whether they are military, whether they're off a mansion, because I had a quick Google on my phone while I was down there, and what I did find was the two-headed eagle was actually a memorial. It was taken originally from the Romans, but it was adapted by some emperor, and it's been actually a family crest in Germany. So research is needed, but I think they may have a military connection, maybe come off a big military factory or something like that, or certainly something of serious importance. These are commissioned pieces, they're certainly not mass produced. As I say, find me another. £450, 700, let's say $725. I think to the right buyer they're going to be, and they're not going to be able to pass them up. The price isn't going to matter, they're just not going to pass them up. And the condition on them is absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm going to move on to some less flattering pieces. I purchased a 20th century, we use them now as magazine stands, but it's basically a Canterbury. It's got the drawer on the front, it's just a pretty little thing. It was £15, and I just thought, it did have a drawer on the front, hang on. That would help. It's just a pretty little thing to sell in the shop, you know. They don't go for fortunes, about £40, £45, but for £15, that's absolutely fine. £15, $22, something like that. This I purchased because I believe I got some ink bottles for it, but if I haven't, it doesn't matter. It cost me a whole £5 sterling, $7.50, and it is an ink stand with pen tray, pen rest. So you'd rest your pen along the antler horns. These are going to be silver plate, I would assume, and you need your little square ink bottles, but I can get those if I haven't got them to fit. But for a £5, I wasn't going to leave that there. As you know, I've been buying a lot of Morecroft lately. Well, I have just bought a specialist book on Morecroft Pottery. All the patterns, all the shapes, everything. If anybody's interested in, there's the ISBN. So if anybody's interested in getting a Morecroft book, I am going to do a book review on this, but it is absolutely packed with all their patterns, their shapes, their artists. I don't know whether the signatures are in here. Yep, all the artist signatures are in here. Everything. So, you know, you can literally date everything and... Oh, look at that. Beauty and the Beasts. A new range by Morecroft. Full reference book on Morecroft. From the car boot sale, £2. $3. You try and buy that book online, I guarantee you that's going to be expensive. Okay, I have had 4, I'm not going to unwrap the 4 of them, they're all in good condition. But I have had 4 antique custard cups. Now these have a ground and polished pontil. They have cutting down the bowl here, plied handle, and these are literally known as custard glasses. They're about 1880 in date, and I had 4 of those for a £5. And not being funny, I sell them £12 a glass, no problem at all. I had 4 for a £5. $7.50 for 4 19th century custard glasses. That is why I love glass. I've said to you over and over and over, my bread and butter for many years was drinking glasses. I dig out of boxes 10 and 20 pence and 50 pence glasses and sell them for 20, 30, 40, 50 pound. If you still don't know how to identify early drinking glasses, go watch my videos on identification of drinking glasses. You won't be disappointed. Next we have a Bakelite box. Now this one is actually full of pins at the moment. full of pins, which are going to go in the bin. What I like about this is the Bakelite box, but it also is inlaid with white metal, which could be silver again. And we have a couple of dogs. Terriers, I think, at a guess. But Bakelite, inlaid white metal. It was £5 or $7.50. You know, a Bakelite box with the dogs. How sweet can you get? You know, and it's in beautiful, clean condition. All right, the colour's not perfect. You know, if I could have had a nice bright colour, then I'd have been laughing. But I'm not going to turn down a Bakelite box with inlaid dogs. Not for that sort of money. I've had 2 pieces of Royal Doulton booths with old willow pattern. So first of all, we've had a tea caddy, beautifully gilded, nice flow blue pattern on there. There's the Royal Doulton stamp. Really good clean condition. So that's the first. And a tea caddy is collectible, very much. And then we had a little hexagonal trinket box. Royal Doulton booths again. Old willow pattern again. And look how clean they are. Now, all I paid for the 2, the trinket box and the tea caddy, was £5 again, or $7.50 again. It was gift day yesterday, it really was. That was for Sandra, a little Canadian lucite paperweight. This was quite nice. Everything on the floor was £1, so I thought, well, I'll have it. I couldn't find no markings on it. And I don't think it's that old, it's probably 1980s, but it's got an Art Deco pattern. I don't know if you can see here the stag running and leaping. It's in solid copper. It's just a real nice bit of copper. As I've said, it's not old in my opinion. Probably 1980s. But for £1, I just thought it was such a pretty little thing. And if I put it on a stand in the shop and chuck £12 or £15 on it, that's a hell of a profit for £1 or $1.50. You know, it's just crazy money. This one here is a bit of shop filler. You know, I got to have some shop stock. And we got a solid brass freestanding bathroom mirror. So swiveling bathroom mirror, solid brass, not a huge age to it. Again, probably 1980s, something like that. But you know what? This cost me £5 again, or $7.50 again. You know, hey, look at that, you can see my shop. Better make sure it's clean then, haven't I? So yeah, you know, that's a nice shop fill. It's a usable object, it's a decorative object, it's solid brass. You know, it's not just cast base metal. This is quite unusual. Now, what I would tell you this would be normally is a sugar scuttle. In fact, have I got one? Okay, I don't actually have a sugar scuttle in at the moment, unfortunately. But this would be a sugar scuttle. So you'd put your sugar in, you'd have a very small miniature shovel to shovel a scoop of sugar. Now, it's got a porcelain man riding it. Now, I'm thinking German, certainly continental porcelain. It is late 19th century and it's in lovely condition. I wish it had its miniature shovel. It would be a seriously rare and collectible piece. But I still haven't seen anything of the likes before. You see these figures quite often. You know, you can get decent money for a pair of those figures on their own. But to see him ride in the sugar scuttle and then you got the wreath of flowers around here, it's just a really unusual little piece. It was £1, $1.50. Over the moon. As you can see, I've had a field day in Splot. When I said to you there were pieces missing for the £70 to Richard, that was part of it. I knew there was something missing. He wanted 30 for this, and then when you added the other bits, and he just said 70 quid for all of it. So this was part of the £70 lot. I knew something was missing for the £70, it just didn't feel right. So we have what I believe to be unresearched at the moment. Do you know, I actually think it might be Murano. When I purchased it, I thought it was Kribska. But it's got a ground and polished pontil. So the pontil is ground in and then polished smooth. Now Kribska I've had has always been just cut. Finished off around the edge, but cut. So I'm thinking this might be a bit of Murano. And it cost me a whole £8. It's in lovely condition. It's a really nice electric green colour. Hopefully you can see that colour. Really is nice. No chips, no cracks, £8. You know, they sell 30, 40, £50, no problem at all. So I'll have to double check who made that, but it looks like it might be a Murano example. And then I had these of the same lady that I had the sugar scuttle from. And what I found quite annoying, I'll tell you the story now, hang on. One thing I found very, very annoying was the lady I was buying off was trade. She knew what she was selling. She knew I was trade, and there was a gentleman at the side of her who was obviously being very friendly with her, chatting to her, telling her, up the prices, don't sell to him, he's a dealer. Do you know the annoying thing is, the gentleman has a stall in the corner of Splot Market, and he sells there every single week, goes around buying and puts it on his stall. So how is he any different from me? What's the problem? What's wrong with people not wanting to sell to me because I'm trade? My money's as good as anyone else's. I absolutely hate it, I really do. Right, so we got, I'll put this one down. We have two beautiful, what are they, 1930s cars? The lady tried saying to me they were Victorian, but I don't think these cars were around in the Victorian era. But yeah, they're probably 1940s or 50s, but they are heavy, heavy brass, you know, and they're just good looking. So I had two cars, pretty much identical, same model car. So I had two of them, and I had this very beautiful, sweet little doll's house rocking chair in brass. But look at that, it's got a Welsh dragon on it. I had to have it. It was £12 for the two cars, and what was it? Or was it £10? It was either £10 or £12 for the two cars and the chair. And look at that, the little rocking chair is sweet with the dragon on it. All this coming from one car boot sale. A car boot sale in Splot in Cardiff in one morning. I don't know what to say. Do you know? I think my eagles are going to be £1,500 plus, just for the pair of eagles. I really do. These are the best thing I have bought in 10 years or more. And as soon as my partner saw them, she didn't want to let them go. She wanted them in the garden. But I can tell you now, there's going to be a German fanatic out there, someone who collects German memorabilia, who is going to die for these. I love those eagles, but for the history for me, the Eisteddfod Cup, the connection to the Crochet family, which is just a few miles up the road, and the Crochet family saved the valleys in the early 19th century. You know, when they introduced the ironworks, they brought everybody back and the industry back. We owe the Crochet family a lot around here. I just don't know what to say. I think this has got to be one of my best hauls in 10, 15 years, if not in my lifetime. Everything I bought is absolutely interesting and amazing. The eagles, the tobacco sign, the trunk for the car, the erotic wallpaper. Do you know? First thing Sandra said was, I'd put that up in my bathroom. That gives you a little hint into Sandra's psyche. That tramp art picture frame is spectacular. You know, it's just filled with good quality gear. I'm in love with it all. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed. It's been really long, hard video. I've got to photograph it all now and splice in the photographs for you, but I really hope you get to the end and see everything, because honestly some of it is just spectacular. Spent a lot of money. I went through £1,000 on Saturday morning, but when I sold I actually took about 100 back. So I was only down about £900. So it's all good. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please share the videos and leave a comment on today's videos. Let me know what you think. I think it's one of my best hauls ever. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.